Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Pre-Market Live Show. Today is Thursday, February 12th, and the market doesn't look too bad. So let's take a look, see what's going to be popping. All information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, everybody. And how are you this morning? Dougie, how are you? SRX, this one I was looking at yesterday, as a matter of fact. We had it on the list, and it isn't looking too bad right there. Look at that thing trying to curl back up. I'd give you that one. And yeah, we were just looking at this yesterday, and SRX, what is it? SRXH. That's what it is. And there you are. So yeah, not looking bad for that. SPY's up this morning. Look at this thing. It looked like it wanted to dip down yesterday. I'm still not convinced, but it does look pretty good. Let's see if it gets through this MACD. It might get rejected off at some point, and you can see your Qs up here, and they have some resistance, but they are curling up. That's a good curl up for your Qs, Cadence. So we'll see what happens with that as well. And your IWN, here we go. Yeah, I mean, I think that one was going to roll off too, but it doesn't look bad this morning. We have to see how these look as it approaches 9:30, but let's see, because the market looks pretty good. And I know that we have a little bit of data coming out today. What was it? Jobless claims at 8:30 right there. So that'll be out. Let's see. The smartest AI trade right now is in molecules and powders, says the research firm known for nailing trends early. Rate expectations, futures move higher as market weighs economic earnings news, and the roadblocks could stop the AI juggernaut crashing software, and Dow futures rise ahead of more earnings today. So there you go. And what are they talking about? The rate cuts already? They don't even happen until March. So I'm not sure what the heck they keep talking about. Unless this really starts to make this dip down and this one curl up, because they're kind of setting up the jump off cliffs right here. So I don't know if that's what they're talking about to get these poly market charts moving. I'm telling you, the charts are pretty wild how it works. And yeah, we'll see we'll keep an eye on that. You know, we like to look at that and see what the rate cut will look like. FSLY right here, blasting off this morning. NVCR right there, that was popping, pulled back a little bit, and CGNX, that's jumping up as well right there. Look at that bad boy popping up. That could continue to run right there. Keep an eye on that. RAMP, that just ramped off. Look at that. Live Ramp Holdings, that one went pretty wild. And there's our JZXN, that China auto and truck dealership right there, and it's just kind of bouncing around this morning. It's been bouncing around. Crocs, good old Crocs on your feet right there, and that's jumping up somehow. I don't know if they had earnings or something, but that is ripping. So let's see what else is going on in the market real quick. Let's take a look and see what crypto looks like. Look at that. Bitcoin 67K, and not looking too bad, but it's still nothing perfect. It just looks a little bit better this morning, but that is a good curl up finally right there. I could see them getting through. Maybe at the end of the weekend, maybe for next week, this could really start to move. So maybe you have a little level down. It's getting pretty close right here. So I would say that we're getting to that very bottom area. And yeah, Ethereum, even if they bounce off one more time in the basement, it would be the last time. And that's the only thing I'm looking for, as if they want to, but it doesn't appear like Ripple looks like that wants to go. So I think crypto could be finally bottomed out here and actually getting curled up, looking pretty decent as of the moment. As of this moment, we'll keep an eye on it today, but they don't look too bad right there. Let's go ahead and see what our Mag 7 and all them guys are up to real quick in our big caps and megas. And let's see, here's Apple right here. It was jumping up yesterday. It has a little bit of that fade look, like it wants to come down to roll off the MACD. We'll have to look at it today and see if it can get bumping up there. Amazon right there is up a little bit. That's been way down as well. And then Google's been dipping down, and that's trying to recover itself too. But again, I'm not completely convinced that they're all ready, so we'll see how they work out today. Maybe they do jump up a little bit today. Here's Meta right here, and that's just kind of hanging out right there at 671. So it's a little bit flat this morning. And then your Microsoft right here, And Microsoft just kind of, Microsoft not too bad right there. I would say Microsoft trying to get set up. Microsoft looks pretty good at the moment right there. Nvidia that hasn't been looking too bad. That looks like it could continue its way up. And then Tesla was looking pretty good right there, getting into that channel between the 20 and 50. So that was looking pretty good there. Two Cadence and AMC. Let's see what it's up to. AMC right here. That one, it's struggling to keep itself going. I wouldn't mess with it really until the earnings right there at February 24th, which is in a couple weeks, a couple Tuesdays from now. So have a little bit of time on that. And then GameStop's been kind of pulling back, and we'll see. It looks like it's trying to go through the MACD down. I thought it was going to bounce off. It certainly could try to today. So we'll keep an eye on GameStop as well. And let's see what else is going on right here. Chewy. CHWY, and that one's way at the bottom. We know Unity's been dipping. It took a huge dip the other day, and it's kind of dipping down right there. And let's see what Netflix is up to right here. And Netflix still dipping, but the interesting thing is like Warner Brothers. That's really interesting right there, getting curled up. And then, of course, your PSKY with Paramount, and now it looks like they're trying to go back for Warner Brothers. So it is a very interesting fight right there. That's for sure. And let's look at some semiconductors real quick and see what's going on. AVGO right there. Let's see what AVGO is up to. That's just kind of flat. It's up a little bit. MU's flying still, and that does look pretty decent. But again, has to curl through. I mean, that's a big curl up right there, but a lot can happen in between that curl up. So I'm definitely just keeping an eye on that. But we're getting the pops on the curls, that's for sure. TSM in all-time high hit territory right there and continuing the run. And SMCI right here. This is getting set up. Look at that 2050 meeting up. That wants to roll off the MACD. I think SMCI can start moving finally. And your AMD had been beaten down there, and it's trying to pop back up a little bit slowly but surely. QCOM up a little more this morning. There you go. It's trying to move. And another one moving on the curl up right there. I don't know if it gets through, but it is looking pretty good this morning. So there you are with QCOM, and we had talked about that one. And snow right here. This one's just kind of hanging out. It started to pop back up. It's hitting resistance at the MACD, and this is what I'm talking about as they start popping back up there. Do they get through? Snow does have earnings coming up, but that's in a couple Wednesdays from now, it looks like. And yeah, that thing could kind of bounce back down. We'll have to look at it today. And that's exactly what I've been looking at. I'm not so convinced that they're ready to just go flying right through. PayPal right here. Let's see what it's up to. It is way down here. And I think this is actually going to get set up. I mean, I can't see it dipping down even more right there. So I think PayPal could be a good opportunity. We just have to time it out the right way. So we're keeping an eye on that. We always do. Intel right here trying to get set up, but could still pull back a little bit more. So I'm not convinced that the market's ready. And look at Dell pulling back after it just ran up. So you do have to lock in these profits pretty quick. And IBM took a big old dip there yesterday, and it's kind of just hanging out there today. Palantir right now, what is that up to? That's actually, I mean, it looks pretty decent right there, but it might get rejected for Palantir. So PLTR, we'll have to see today. Again, the market's just all over the place, guys. It's pretty wild. Market Sophie doing the same thing, trying to get set up, but it's going to play off the market. And Mara and Riot looking a little bit better here. And like I said, crypto at the moment looks pretty good. So I think if cryptos can start looking good again, I think the markets will start looking much better and run up even higher. Here's Clean Spark, and these guys are kind of getting set up right there. MicroStrategy, I mean, they're pretty beat down. Look at them. So we'll see. Maybe they're going to reverse that trend and start into a bullish trend right here. Going in towards next week, the end of February, it very well possibly could look like that. Robinhood, what you say, finding support? Yeah, it looks like it is right there. It has that support underneath of it. It definitely looks a lot better right there. And then you could find a couple more dips, but keep an eye on it. And here's your Coinbase. Look at it. It's actually up today. Wow, that would be crazy. Oh, my goodness. It actually looks really good right there, Luis Rodriguez. That's why I was waiting on this bad boy to see. I mean, we're going to base it off of the fact that the analysts expect gap of GAAP EPS of $1 and the revenue of one. Does that just say 1 billion? I think it says 1 billion. Prediction market showed 20% probability of beating estimates right there. What do the options look like? Didn't we look at them yesterday? And let's see. Well, these are going to be tight because they expire tomorrow. Irma's playing like zero DTEs right there after the earnings. So if it goes your way, it's going to rock and roll. Let's see. There are some good interest right there. 8,000, 2,000, 4, 6, 4. I mean, you're talking some good volume right there, some good amount of open interest and some good volume right there, but better open interest right there. So very interesting, guys, that's for sure. And if you look at the put side, it's got not as much, that's for sure. I mean, the fact that it looks way better over there usually tells you something. We always do look at that. And we were looking at them puts yesterday. No, not as crazy over here, 11,000 there. But anyway, there you are with your options. And there, yeah, we were talking about this before about shorting it down going into the earnings. That's why I said I'm going to keep an eye on it until right up, and that's why I was asking when the earnings actually were there, Luis Rodriguez. Yeah, Tesla we were talking about earlier. But yeah, I say Coinbase, Tesla is climbing up a little bit. It's in that channel. But Coinbase definitely looking a little bit better than I thought it was going to into these earnings. Maybe that will change and turn around. We'll have to keep an eye on that bull right here. Maybe all of these will start rock and rolling. If Hood's making a base, and Coinbase, Bull will follow. It'll all run together. Space right here, just kind of hanging out. Boeing had a good dip yesterday, trying to rebound a little bit, and it might dip down a little bit more. You have that support. You also have your 50 down there, but it is getting set up. That's for sure. And Lockheed Martin right here down a little bit as well. And let's see what DJT is doing. That's just kind of hanging out, almost getting set up. It's not ready yet. And again, these could wait until next week. Nike right here was looking good yesterday. It's pulling back today. And McDonald's, look at that thing going into its earnings. I guess they beat their earnings, delivers strong Q4, and there you go. We've been looking at that bad boy. It had been looking good. Disney right here up a little bit there to Luis Rodriguez. And what about Oxy right there? It is pulling back just a hair. Let's look at the rest of them. We'll see what Oxy wants to do. Let me just get a good, better idea. I was going to look at the Gush and Boil too, and just see what they're doing right here. Boil is the natural gas, and that's still down there, just kind of hanging out. And then your Gush right here is up a little bit, not looking bad right there for the Gush. And let's see, ExxonMobil is down a little this morning, and CVX right here is down a hair too. They've been in the top. They've been way in the top, as a matter of fact. So we'll see. Maybe that did top out, and then these guys come pulling back. We'll look at these today too and see what they want to do. That REMX is up, and like I said, that was looking surprisingly good somehow right there. So there you are with that one. And let me see what DXYZ is up this morning too, guys. This one was up a couple bucks, I saw. And there you are. And that looks pretty good. Look at that thing. That looks really good right there. And so keep an eye on that. So there you go with them. And let's see a couple other ones here. NKLR, that's up a little bit. That had been looking really good. And your QMCO is moving also. So there you are with them. What about UNH? That had been looking really good last night. It's a little bit flat trying to crawl into the MACD TM. Wow, I'm surprised Toyota Motors not up this morning. And Rich Tech Robotics looked like it wanted to go down. And maybe that's basing out right there. So it's an interesting looking market. And again, it is exactly hard to pinpoint. You have to look at it on the Dow. You guys know that. That's why we do the shows every day. But especially right now, you really have to really dissect this market. It's all over the place. And Abbott Laboratories has been running up just a little bit flat right there. And the Tylenol maker is down a little bit today, but still looks pretty good. It is in that top, so maybe it pulls. I don't know. That thing has an interesting look. Maybe it pulls back a little bit to pop up even higher, and pulls out right here and then gets back in there. That could be a good possibility for that one. I could see that chart doing it right there. And that Sterling had been running yesterday, and look at it popping today. So you could keep an eye on that. That could be a really good one right there. STRL. Obviously, MU's been running up. That one's been really good. And TSM hitting the highs. We were talking about Lowe's and Home Depot. They're both up a little bit this morning. Lowe's don't look as good. Home Depot looks really good right there. Keep an eye on that. That Wolf Speed right here is down I did look at this already. It's more flat than anything, but this it's going to get set up in this channel, and we'll keep an eye on it right there. And ASPI, this chemical one, was looking pretty good yesterday. So definitely keep your eyes on that. And what else? Blink Charging had been looking pretty good right there. So you definitely watch that bad boy. And SRXH, we were looking at this one, penny stock. And it is moving around this morning and not looking bad right there. It was jumping up earlier. And now it's trying to get set back up. So you can watch that penny one, Doge Mama 9, and everybody else. RENX, speaking of Doge Mama 9, right on target right there. And RENX right here. Renex Enterprises. Whoa, that one looks really good there, Doge Mama 9. Yeah, that looks good to continue its way up. Let's look at that. RENX. And of course, keep your eye on that SRXH. So a bunch of X ones there, ones that have X's in them, I guess. That's the pattern today. Things that have X's, RENX, X. I can't even say it. And then your SRXH. They're confusing stock tickers right there for me for whatever reason. I don't know. But there you are with them, and they are looking pretty good. ONDS right here. Let's see what these guys are up to. That's just kind of pulling back a little bit. Galaxy, yeah, it's just a little bit down there. What was Lunar up to? That's up a little bit. Nothing crazy. That could run either way right there. ASTS, that was dip. Whoa, look at that dip. That did take that big dip yesterday. I forgot about that. There, wow. Holy cow, that took a huge dip right there. And let's see. UMAC right here. Up a little bit this morning. That one's definitely getting set up right there. And Redwire, that's just pulling back. Redwire looks like it could be pulling back a little bit. And how about Rocket Lab right here? That doesn't look so healthy again. I don't know. It was jumping up there. Now it doesn't look so good. I mean, it's got a good setup, but I don't know. It just has a weird look. It's got to get curled up today. I have to look at that Rocket Lab today and see what that wants to do, because that is an interesting look. Let's see what Oklo is doing. Okay. LO. And that is up a little bit this morning. SMR right there up a little bit as well. So there's your nuclear ones. We looked at NKLR already. It was up in EOSE, but I'm not convinced these guys are all ready to get rock and roll. Now that one could. It's in a good spot right there. It looks pretty decent. So that could move. And then, of course, your IREN, that's pulling back some. And critical metals, let's look at these guys and see what they're up to. And yeah, I'm not convinced. Again, they're trying to curl up, but you might get a little run up on some curl ups, but I would still be careful right here. MP dipping down a little bit. That's in a pretty good channel, but it's going to bounce around. So these guys have some time still to set up. And then this UAVS AG Eagle aerial systems. Now that one looks like it could get moving relatively soon, and RGTI dipping down. But like I said, QMCO was the one that was looking pretty good right there. Here's your USAR down a penny, and your UAMY up a penny. But yeah, they still could be pulling back and hopping around right there. Your 4Us, energy fuels up a little bit right there. And then we looked at ASPI and the rest of these guys. So we kind of covered everything. IMR or SNES Tech right there pulling back. And IMRX right there was flat this morning. I saw that. So there you go. It's Joseph Levy's Gall. That's always flat in the morning. It's never moving. Lucid is up a little bit this morning, but nothing real crazy right there. And then we've been keeping an eye on Cracker Barrel. That doesn't seem to move too much in the morning. But Rocket, that had been dipping down pretty good yesterday. I don't know. It could continue its way down. Oracle trying to bounce up a little bit right here. Oracle, not too bad right there. Adobe was in the black hole sun. And let's see if that could finally be its bottom. But we've said that before with Adobe. But maybe that's the bottom, Lois Rodriguez. Holy cow. How are you, Michael Anthony? A strong sell for what? What are you even talking about? A strong sell? I'm not even sure. Michael Anthony just came on and just said a strong sell. Like, what does that even mean this morning? The market doesn't look too bad. A strong sell. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Michael Anthony. But anyway, let's see what else. That E-Lab right here, that was a downer. And VRA, this Vera Bradley looks pretty good. That could continue its way up right there. So there you go with them guys. What's Symbotic up to? That was just kind of hanging out. But Sterling is up this morning. Look at that thing. And that could continue its way up. That looks pretty good right there. And Rhythm, let's see what the cannabis guys, they're just kind of flat. They were looking a lot better the other day. Canopy Growth right here. Tilray. Yeah, just kind of hanging out. What about gold and silver? Yeah, see, gold down a little bit. I didn't trust it just yet. Silver down a little bit as well. I didn't trust them. And doesn't matter. Just sell, Sam. You're right. It doesn't matter. Lucid, highly anticipated Investors Day is February 20th. So what's today? Today is the 12th. So that's going to be what? Next Friday? Next week, a week from tomorrow. So that could be interesting. So maybe they're getting set up for that. And this is when they reveal details about their new mid-range SUV. Hold on, let me write this down. Lucid. Let me post that video. I got a bunch of videos I gotta finish doing. Keep forgetting to do these. I gotta do all these guys and post them out there. I got a ton of stuff. I have. All right, I gotta get that all done today. I've been working on some of them, but then I didn't finish them all, so I got to get that all done. Anyway, so yeah, I got to get that Lucid video, a couple other ones done. So I definitely got to work on that today some more and knock them out. But there, yeah, Lucid. We'll see what happens for next Friday. We'll look at that. You guys look at Coinbase. It looks pretty good this morning. I'm not gonna lie, going into these earnings. So we may it looks good this morning, let's put it that way. We'll look at it as the day goes on because the earnings are at the end of the day, but that does look pretty good to try to get crawled up there. I can't promise you. I might have to lay off that. They are expensive and I don't really trust it. What one did Rhett said one that was popping up this morning? I forget which one it was. NBIS. That was it at the end of the day yesterday. No, it wasn't this one. What the heck was it? This one? I have to look. I forget what the heck it was. To be honest with you, I thought it was up. Let me see. What did I see it at? NBI. Oh, it's down now. It was just up this morning. So yeah, I was just looking at this bad boy, and it was up, and then it just dipped down right at 7 a.m. when I came on the show. It dipped down. It looks like it's trying to rebound right here, but. That was just up. The Vikings up this morning. I saw this one. There you are with VKTX. Look at that bouncing right there. Correction on that date. The Investors Day was rescheduled for March 12th. You're lying to us, Luis Rodriguez. That's going to be on a Thursday in March, so we'll keep an eye on that. And I don't know, Sam, we're going to keep an eye on that coin. That's why I said we're definitely going to watch this as the day goes on. It doesn't look too bad right here. I might not be able to trust it either way. So we'll have to look at it towards the end of the day, you know that, and see exactly what we want to do. Or even by lunchtime, possibly late afternoon. Maybe we'll have an idea. But it does look pretty good right there. I know Robinhood is making a nice little base too right here. Check that out, Sam. So yeah, you could see Robinhood dip down a little bit more. But it is making that base, and that's starting to look a little bit better. Yeah, you could bounce off the MACD one more time and come back down. I've been expecting it, to be honest with you, but these are starting to set up. It's getting a weird market look. Usually it'll tell you what it wants to do. This is a little bit crazy, and it's been that way for a little while now. It's been a little very volatile, like a coin flip. You can't really tell exactly. So, yeah, we have to keep an eye on that Coinbase today. See what we want to do with it at the end of the day. It could go completely red and look down and as the day goes on. So yeah, we'll be watching that one. And SRXH, we were talking about that at the beginning of the show right there. That is up. We looked at that bad boy the other day, and RENX is looking good. Well, what happened to that one, Doge Mama 9? That just pulled back a little. That was looking really good right there. Maybe it's getting your pullback. And at this time you do, because at 4 a.m. things go popping, then they dip down, then they run up a little bit right before the show comes. I've noticed like right around this time you'll see some things popping right here, and then as we're on, they come dipping back down. They're quick, and right around like 6:45 sometimes they start moving, and then they pull back right here, and then they get set back up for the 9 o'clock hour. So it's an interesting one. I've picked that up on a lot of, not everything does it, but certain ones do. And I have noticed that, especially if they're trying to run around. Look at the SPY, you're up, but that doesn't look exactly perfect. It's hitting the MACD pretty good. And we'll have to see. I don't know. It's just giving me a mixed look. I'll be able to tell, obviously. You might not even be able to tell at 9 o'clock. to be completely honest, because that's a crazy look right there. Your Qs, they have this hardcore resistance there. I just don't think they're getting through. Do I think they could curl up? That's a beautiful curl up right there. But for whatever reason, they just don't look like they're getting through that resistance, at least not today. We'll relook at it tomorrow. Unless it gets right there and it can spike through and hit this 20 or 50 right here, then it's going to be golden. But it's got to get up there, and I don't know if it's going to right there just by this look. So that's what the market looks like, everybody. I don't know what is going on with the market, but yeah, it looks good, but just be careful, because I'm telling you, the SPY doesn't look perfect. It's up this morning, but it doesn't look perfect right there. You can see that weird little look. It's trying to cross through. Let me look at it on here, see if I can get a better idea. I mean, it's trying to cross through right there. Look at it. So it just has a weird look. Well, let me go back over here and look at the Qs as well to try to get an idea of what exactly is going on. And that's a great curl up look, I'm telling you, but it has a 2050 right there. I mean, it is a really weird look right there. IWM, that's even up, and that looked like it wanted to continue down and roll back down tomorrow. Look at that, or today. Look, it looks like it wants to, and then this is curling up, so it's giving you kind of opposite looks right there. It's a little bit strange. So we'll be watching all this stuff. You know that. What is Zoetis right there, drug manufacturer? That's running up pretty big. Did they have earnings today, or did they miss them? Oh, February 12th. That must be today, or reports Q4 revenue. I guess they just did. I'm not exactly sure. And Coin has earnings today after the market close. That is correct. So we'll be keeping you guys updated on that one. And, we'll be on in the Discord. I'll hop on and be live trading and all that. And we'll cover the market. I'll definitely be looking at Coin, trying to figure out what it wants to do right there. And that's what the market looks like. Not too bad this morning. Apple, a little red apple right there, but the rest of them appear to be up. And this one even appears to be setting up. I think you get a little pullback and then it gets ripping. It had some strength yesterday at the end of the day, which shows you it wants to go, but you might just have to wait for that 20 to meet up with the 50 right there for it to actually get rocking. Yeah, Crocs was rolling too. We saw that this morning, Luis Rodriguez. And I don't know, they must have had earnings or something. Yeah. They must have beat their earnings right there, topping $4 billion in annual revenue. Wow, that's pretty wild. And that's pretty crazy right there. Crocs. A lot of people wear their Crocs, and I know that. My little guy likes his Crocs. I've never had a pair on my feet in my life, so I have no idea. But there you are, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. That's what it looks like this Thursday afternoon. We kind of went through everything, so if you're hopping on late, just catch the replay real quick. And yeah, Bitcoin and crypto just kind of hanging out right there at 67K. Nothing real crazy. It does look a lot better, though. I'll say that. So we'll see how it opens. I mean, that's a pretty good curl up, but at any moment, both of them are. MACD, RSI, things are looking pretty decent, but we know it can bounce around. It's very volatile, and we'll be keeping you updated on that as well. So that's what our market looks like, and all information presented here is for educational and informational purpose only, not intended as financial advice. So always do your due diligence, and thank you, everybody. Sam and Luis Rodriguez, Michael Anthony up early this morning hanging out, and of course, Doge Mama 9. Cadence was one of the first people on. Actually, Durgaek, Durgaek. How are you this morning? He was the first one on. He was on before I was actually this morning. So thanks for hanging out this morning, everybody, and tuning in. Be sure to like the show and follow along. And I will keep you guys up to date on what the market looks like. So be sure you trade smart and lock in those profits. And goodbye. Good luck. See you later. And have a great day, everybody.